Hello, wherever you're joining me from, welcome to the Second Chance platform with Blessing. I just want to welcome you to today's episode. And today's episode is a continuation of the series we've been running on how to know what you don't want in a relationship. It's very easy to say, oh, I know what I want, I know what I want to deal with, I know the kind of woman or man I want to marry. So, what this topic implies is talking about red flags in relationships, what you should look out for, what your deal breakers are, the things that you know you cannot put up with, because these are what we call, deal breakers and what we call red flag. They might not be a deal breaker for you. You might be feel like, oh, you might be able to tolerate some of these things. I will reiterate today, but they are red flags because on the long run you will not be able to contain it because you're only humans. What marriage does in relationship, you wear this magnified glass because you are covered up with emotions. Your emotions are all over the place. You love this person. You are, oh, butterfly, I love this person, the way I feel about this person and all that. But trust me, marriage will open your eyes, because by the time you get married, you will see these things every day. Then it becomes so bad that you cannot be able to manage, and those are what we call red flags. So your deal breakers are things that you know naturally you cannot put up with. My deal breakers are not the same with yours. My Janet, for instance, let's just call her name Janet. Janet's deal breakers is not the same deal breaker with Jane. They might be twin, but they don't have the same deal breakers. Because what you can naturally on your own, accommodate and tolerate is not what I can. So that is different from the red flag. The red flag are things that because these are behaviors that can literally lead to emotional abuse. It can lead to abusive in relationship, in marriage especially. So that's why today I'm going to be digging more on a particular red flag in the midst of this series. Yeah, I just want to run you through from the beginning what we've talked about. We've talked about what are your deal breakers, and in deal breakers I ask you a question. You should identify and make note of what your deal breakers are, so that when you are in a relationship you're able to say, no, I cannot do this, I cannot deal with it, because this is not the kind of person I will be able to stay with. When I mean able to stay with, marry, or settle down with, it does not necessarily mean that that person is a bad person. It just means the person is not good for you. So you have to understand that this person is not good for me does not make the person a bad person. What is not good for is good for someone else. What is a deal breaker for is not a deal breaker for me. So it might be good for me, but it will not be good for you. Do you understand? That's what it is. So we have the deal breakers. List out what your deal breakers are, so that you know how to navigate them when you come into a relationship, or you're trying to make a choice, or do I settle with he or do I settle with she? Do you understand? Then we'll talk about, do you people have the same values? These are part of deal breakers you need to list. Do we share the same values? Having kids, is there an issue? Because see, having kids is a big red flag if it's a value to you, if it's something that you value, like, oh, you want to have kids. It's very important for you to note this on your deal breaker, that I know I can't do this. It's a red flag if my partner does not want to have kids. It's something you need to really identify and talk about, to be sure that your partner, you are on the same note in having kids. Because when you get married and you're telling your partner, I don't want to have kids, and your partner is saying, I want kids, then that's the problem. It's a deal breaker. It's going to make that relationship, it's going to strain our relationship, and it could most likely even crumble your relationship. Then we'll talk about the Omugo visit. If you're from Africa, you understand what Omugo visit is. Who is coming to visit? Who is coming to take care of the woman that just put to bed? How long will they stay? You need to have all these conversations. Family visit. How long will family come and visit and stay? Are they going to come and stay forever? Or how long will they come? Who is coming to visit and stay? When we talk about general visits, some people just get married and the next day they come in with their brother, their sister come in to stay, or you're getting married, you live with your family member. Do you feel comfortable to bring in your wife with your family member? Do you want to live in a family house? These are conversations you should have before you get married, to avoid issues and avoid your relationship having some strains on your relationship over conversation you should be having when you were cutting. Attitude, how does the person behave? Mostly to people that are below the person, you need to talk about the attitude of the person. How did they behave to people? How did they behave to you? Because when your relationship, mostly when they are they got checking you, asking you, are taking you on dates, it's still very fresh. You've not argued yet. How do they behave? when they're angry? What's their attitude like? What's their behavior like? How do they behave when they're angry? Thank you for the share, guys. Their lack of interest. Are they interested in what you're interested in? Are they those that support your interest? Is this kind of person that is constantly making, competing with you? He or she is competing. It's as if there's a competition going on. So you need to understand and ask these questions and watch out for this behavior. Have conversations. I always say, in courtship or in relationship, please, it's a time for interview. Ask questions. Let the person say, he or she asks too many questions. It is the best time. It's actually best for you to ask questions in relationship than when you get married and you begin to ask questions. No, because in relationship is the best time for you to know this person, know their character, their behavior, their attitude, their interest, their inspiration, what inspires them, what is their aspiration, are they innovative, are they competitive, are they jealous? So we've talked about all these, did they fight dirty? We talked about, did they lack vision? Did they even have vision? What's their prospect in life? Did they have any vision? We've talked about, are they faithful? Are they cheating partner? Then today we're going to be hammering on a very particular subject that is very precious to, dear to my heart, because these are really a lot of relationships. Some of us are indirectly like that. We don't even know. Some of us, we are not bad, but it's just that we over time, you have to outgrown it. So we are talking today about, are they always jealous? Is your partner jealous? There's what we call healthy jealousy. Healthy jealousy is like, they are not healthy jealousy is naturally you are in love with someone, and it's natural for you to feel jealous when the person is spending too much time with someone else that is not in the relationship with them. Or the perfect example would be, you are dating someone, you guys are in love, and the person is spending more time with another male partner who is not the who you feel like they are spending more time with the person than yours. Now, how do you communicate how you communicate rather these kind of emotions to the person will show whether you are insecure or if you're an extremely jealous person. There's a difference between to be an extremist and also to just be, I'm just jealous, because even God is a jealous God. But that does not mean that God takes our choice from us. As much as God is jealous, he does not take our choice from us. He allows us to make our choices in life. And that's why, if you notice, God is so patient with us that even when we misbehave, we go and fall in love with the world, he will sit down patiently be waiting for us. He will still be making way for us, helping us to make sure to find our way back. He's not possessive of us. So that's the word I want you to look out for. The person is jealous, healthy, like, I'm jealous, I love you, I care about you, I want us to spare time. But it's not like he's being possessive. Being possessive means that, I'll read out what I wrote, like, healthy jealousy is totally acceptable when it motivates your partner to treat each other better and not to take each other for granted. Like I said earlier, controlling, hacking your social media page, demanding your phone password is unacceptable. Jealousy, on the other hand, should never be tolerated. This is a sign of insecurity and can quickly, escalate into dangerous and abusive behavior. It is better to leave before it reaches such, level. What do I mean by that? The person is checking your phone. Who did you call? How long did you spend? It's so bad. I've heard someone say that the person literally calculated the hour, the minute, the second, and the milliseconds. That is a terrible thing. If you're with or in such relationship, I beg you and I encourage you to leave, because that person is not just showing you jealousy. It's actually giving you signs of an abusive person in the shortest of time. You'll be shocked that when you get into that marriage with that person, whether it's male or female, then you really need to begin to ask yourself, how did I get here? Because the person is worried. You can't hang out with your friends. You want to go out with your friends, and why are you leaving me at home? I'm lonely and all that. And another way somebody that is possessively jealous is they begin to find a way to cut you off from your friends, from the people you knew before you met them. They always have a complaint about one or two of your friends. Either they tell you your friends are taking advantage of you, there's something wrong with all your friends, there's something wrong with them. There's nobody among your friends they feel that the person, there's one that is even good. As far as they are concerned, all your friends are bad. They had evil intention about you. They are negative. All your friends, or all the friends you had met before you met he or she, they are wrong. They are bad friends. They were in your life for some particular reasons. They were there because of their personal interest and all of that. Now, that's a jealous and a possessive behavior, and that is an abuse. That's a potential abusive person, because abuse is not just physical. There are people that will mentally abuse you so much that you will even lose yourself in that relationship. You begin to act like them. I've seen people, I've seen couples where they've been married over the years, and before one of the partner begin to notice that they are exhibiting some behaviors that naturally that is not them. That means that the other person's abusive behavior is beginning to mentally get into you. Now, if you don't put, by the help of the Holy Ghost, watch it, you end up becoming what you from the beginning was not. Remember, what you associate with has a way to rub off on you. It speaks about who you are. What you associate yourself with end up becoming who you are. So that's how it rub off on you gradually. So if the person is telling you your friends are bad, the person is telling you, they try to find a way to make sure that they cut you off from your family. And the worst part is that when you're dealing with some of them, they have different types. There are some jealous, possessive, and abusive people that when they are in your life, they show it to you that they don't want this person, they don't want your family, they don't do this. You could see it when you marry them that no, this one is horrible. But the one that you should be afraid of are the subtle one. They come in a very nice way. They look as if they are giving you an advice. They are telling you, one thing you must know about them is that they point finger to everything around you, that everything around you before they met you is bad. Your friends were bad. They were actually in your life because of one reason or the other, personal reasons. Anybody you meet, they are always what's the word now? They are always constantly trying to make sure that everybody, including your family in your life, they are bad. Now, when you have issues with your family and you're trying to make resolve with your family, they try to remind you of what your family member or your friend has done to you so that you don't forget. So they don't want you to forget because they want to keep you to themselves. That's how possessive, jealous people are. And they are very abusive. You don't know that. You don't even know the extent of what abuse can do. Jealous is actually an abuse. When someone is possessive of you, that's a jealous person that is possessive of you. That's an abuse. They check your phone. You are checking your password. You are working. They want to check how much you are earning. It's not like you are willingly by yourself say, oh, this is what I earn. Maybe you're a man. You want to try and make no, it's worse for the female part. I'll talk about the men. You're a man. You're trying to okay, I want to be transparent with my finance with my wife so that tomorrow we can plan together. You are telling her this is what I have, this is what I've gotten. Okay, that's on a different note. But now the woman comes and tell you, I want to see how much you have. I want to do this. They are literally tracking. It's not like you told the woman, please track, because their relationship, you meet a man, you got married to the person, and the person, you notice that this person has financial problem. When I mean financial challenges, is that the person naturally does not know how to manage finance. And you discuss it with your partner and say, I noticed that you have serious issues in managing your finances. I want to help. I bet, okay, this and this, and you have these conversations, and the person say, okay, your husband say, okay, I want you to do this, manage what comes in, manage what goes out, check me, when I'm spending, so that I don't overspend above budget. You have your budget for the month. That is on a different note. But at every given time, the person is checking, who did you send 10 naira to? Did you send 10 pounds to this person? Did you send 5 pounds? What did you send? The person is constantly nosing after every finance that comes into your hands and everything. Then on the other angle, for the female, you're married to a man, and the man is constantly checking your finance. How much do you earn? It's not like you by yourself decided to show the person what you earn. They want to know how much you earn. They want to know what you're spending. They want to know. They don't even want you to. When you have money, they borrow all the money from you. They never return it back. They never pay you back your money that they borrow. They make sure that, every cover that comes into your hand, they want to take it out. No penny should be left in your hand. No pea should be left in your hand. They constantly want to be in charge of you. They are control freak. That is not just a jealous person. That's an abusive person in a relationship. Now, if you're in a relationship with someone that you're not married to this person, you're just in a relationship, and the person, mostly as a female, wants to know how much you are earning, and that's a red flag. Why does he wants to know how much you're earning? It's none of your business. It's none of his business how much you're earning, because you are not married to him. And when you're married to him, it's your decision to tell him which advice, what you earn, or so that both of you, and you have to be sure before you tell this person, because some men, the minute they know you have money or you earn more than them, some men are so, jealous that they begin to feel like they are less of a man because you earn more than them. So that's why you need to check out this red flag before you get married. Is he a man that is very comfortable when you are, is he a man that is comfortable with a powerful woman? Is he a man that is comfortable with a woman that is, that makes her own money, that earns money, or that makes more money than him? Is he a man that is comfortable with your promotions at work? How do this man react when you say, oh, I've been seated for promotion, oh, I'm promoted? How do they react? It's something you need to work. Are they jealous? Like, oh, why are you the only one that good things are happening to? Now, when you meet such a man, you need to be very careful. Jealousy is something you really need to watch out for. Is jealous, you're married to someone, or you're in a relationship with someone, you can't travel. It means you say you want to travel, they say, why am I not coming with you? Everywhere you want to, they want to be there. They want to make decisions for you. They want to make sure that they are part of everything you do. You're not yet married to the person. And even when you are married, you should, as a couple, sometimes they need their their time. Their self time, their mean self time. And that's when the man or the woman tells you that, hey, you are always on your own, you don't come. Sometimes they need to be by themselves. So think, to strategize, to even recoup their energy that they are putting so much in the relationship. Now, when you're in with a partner, you're married or you're dating, and the partner does not allow you friends with anybody, or your friends, there's something wrong with them, then that's a red flag. The next red flag of abuse I want to talk about is you are in a relationship with someone, and your family and friends are saying the same thing or something similar about the person. Then that's a red flag you should watch out for. Because the truth is this: when you're in a relationship, you're wearing glasses. When I mean glasses, you're wearing glasses of emotion. You are wearing glasses of, the bubbles in your stomach can lead up to your eyes. You can't see anything wrong because all you see is love. All you see is affection. But trust me, you see the people outside of that bubbles. They are the ones that can actually attest to the character, the attitude, and the behavior of your partner that you are in relationship with. That's why it is good for you to listen to your family, listen to your friends, because not all of them are bad. And it's very, very wrong. You're in a relationship. All your partner does is make you believe that everybody around you has an intention. That even people you met before the person has an intention. It means that that person, one, has a self-esteem issues. And when you have self-esteem issues, it leads to jealousy, and that leads to serious abuse. Because they will constantly want to cut you off from people that they met in your life, or people that you're about to. They don't want you to connect to anybody. They always see something wrong in everyone. And lastly, I will say this before I go. You meet someone, you guys are in a relationship, you're talking about the next phase, and all the person talks about their ex is bad, then that's a red flag. All they talk about, all their exes, whoever they've ever dated, there's something wrong with their ex. And watch the trend. You're dating someone and the person's or their ex has been someone that is this, that is this, that is that. It means that it is not their ex, it is the person that they are dating. It is themselves rather. No, that is the problem. It is not their exes, because you cannot tell me that you have had relationship with someone and all these years or all those months or weeks you had that relationship, all you saw was bad. Even in the worst person, there's always something good about them. And I will advise this today. If you're single, you're trying to date, or you're single, you are dating, please say good about your previous relationship. Don't just say all the negative things that the person did to you. Yes, you might be hurt. You might be, the person must have blown your chest, your heart so much that you don't even think that you have anything left. But for your own personal sanity, and for you not to, strike to be somebody that is, that you are the issue, try as much as possible to look at the good that person had. Even if it was just 1 or 2 points, dwell on those things that the person was, the person that was a good cook, the person was this, the person was that, the person was nice to me, the person was polite. Don't look at all the hurt. I know it's hard when you've been hurt to actually look at, someone that hurts you so much, someone you love. Now, all you want to talk about is the bad part of that person, not the good part of the person. But please try to dwell on the positive part of that person. The things that you saw that made you in the first place fell in love with that person, that made you in the first place go into the relationship. Because every time you sound to the new person you are dating or you are going into a relationship with so bad about your relationship, the picture you are painting is, you are painting a picture to that person like, oh, if something happens to us tomorrow, this is how this guy is going to be, or this is how this lady is going to be. You are painting it. I personally, if I was single and you are doing that, I would be getting a negative, conclusion about you. Like, no, I don't think I can work with this person. How can you tell me that everything about your ex is bad? No, that's a red flag. Any man or woman you are intending to be in a relationship with or in a relationship with, and all they speak about their ex is bad, then that's a red flag. It's a red flag. You should not settle for such. And so lastly, you're always fighting. I'll read what I wrote down. Do you ever feel like you and your spouse or would-be spouse are constantly arguing? Even happy partners argue. You understand that happy partners sometimes you argue and all that. But constantly arguing with a partner is one of a relationship red flag, because it demonstrates poor communication issues. It shows that both of you cannot communicate. You can't have communication. You have communication issues. And when you have communication issues in a relationship, you don't have a relationship, because you can't talk. Relationship is about communication. Now, the most vital part in relationship, in marriage, is communication. The first thing is communication. The second one is sex. Because if you cannot communicate, you cannot even emotionally connect. These are the two vital things in a relationship. Money, yes, but that is not a major. See these two major. Communication, because without communication, you see that sex, you can. I've seen couples after having sex and they are punching themselves right where they were still, naked. And heard cases where somebody just finished making out as a couple, and right out from it they are fighting. Why? Because they are having communication issues. So first thing you want to know, to make sure that your communication channel is clean and open and sharp. You can communicate. Communication means that I speak, you listen, you process what I've spoken to you about, and we have a conversation that I'm talking, you're listening, you're talking, I'm listening. We are talking together and we are having conclusions and dealing with what we've talked about. Not like you're talking, I'm not listening. I can tell you I'm listening to you. It's different. But when I'm listening and I'm processing it, it means you can hear what I'm saying. I'm processing to tell you what I think about what you said. Not like I am listening to respond. That's not a communication. Most times we listen to respond, no. But when you listen and process what the person has said, digest it, then respond, that's communication. Because when you listen, process to respond, you respond with positive and a better way to make your relationship or what you're talking about work better. But when you listen to respond, all you will hear is what the person said wrong and how they didn't say the right thing or how they said it. Do you understand? So I'll read further. Now, when it comes to a healthy, happy relationship, communication is everything. Partners must be able to communicate with one another in order to develop empathy, solve problems, and grow closer, get closer to each other. This entails dealing with issues as they arise rather than allow them to leave them to live longer and escalate into something more major that will cause conflict later. That's what I mean by communication. You want to talk about every little detail. Some people say, let's just leave it. It's too small. You see those little things you are gathering, you sweep them under the carpet, you put them, you gradually just leave them. They are piling up. One day, that little thing you would have just talked about, resolve whatever issues is what, it will escalate and become a big problem that tomorrow you tell yourself, if I had known, I think we would have just talked about it. So I encourage you in a relationship. You are in a relationship. You are about to get into a relationship. You are going on date with somebody or some persons. And right now you're wondering, what is your communication line? Can you people really have conversations without arguing so much? And when you argue, what do you argue about? There's something wrong with argument, because both of you are from two different persons. You have two different perspectives about things and life. It's good you argue, but your argument, how does it end? Do you have a conclusion, or does it turn into a fight? Now, if you're constantly in a relationship, when you argue, you end up fighting all the time, that there's something wrong with the communication that both of you need to either work on. And if it's just a relationship that is not marriage yet, you either tell yourself, I don't want to continue in a relationship where we cannot communicate, then you better just part it. It is very important. Communication is key in relationship, in marriage, even in business, whatever it is. Communication is a big deal that you really need to take into consideration how you communicate to your partner and how your partner communicates with you. So that being said, we're going to other points that have been coming to me, we'll talk about it next week. So that will be all for today. If you have a question, I'm here to respond to your questions. Please send your questions, or you can ask your questions now before I round up today's episode. And I hope today's episode has blessed you. If you have no questions, so we'll be rounding up here for today's topic, where we talked about jealousy, how to know the difference between the different type of and levels of jealousy, and also your communication. If you're not going with anything from today's episode, please go with, remember, the key factors to a healthy relationship is 1, communication, a very good communication channel that is open. 2, when you're married, communication will lead to a healthy sex life. I'm telling you a lot of things communication will do. Communication will lead to a healthy sex life. Communication will lead to, mental stability in your relationship. Communication will lead to emotional, maturity in your relationship, because communication is a big thing. When you communicate how you feel about something or what is going on with you, your partner, both of you tend to mature on how to handle issues. Because if you don't tell me what is going on with you, I am not the Holy Ghost that can get into your heart or your mind and know what you're thinking. I need to know what is going on. You need to speak. And you need to create atmosphere as partners for your partner to be able to speak about how they feel. And when they talk, do you come back to use it against them? Or do you judge them on when they speak? Because sometimes you see people say, I don't communicate in my relationship. I can't talk because my partner will not. If I say it, he or she would, turn it into something else or aggravate it. But if you are in a relationship where you cannot communicate at all, you are not married, please step away from that relationship. It is not good for you, because if you continue in that relationship, you're going to end up with somebody that both of you cannot talk. Instead of you to talk, either argue or start fighting, and you don't want that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate the time for this episode. Please do where to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any message, just like the lady from last week, she reached out and I was able to, we were able to talk about our issues. So you can reach out, you can DM me on all our social media, and I will send you my WhatsApp contact so you can call and we can talk about whatever issues it is you are having in a relationship or in your marriage. So thank you so much for joining today. Do well to come back next week the same time, and we'll continue on our topic and our series. I hope this episode bless you. Do have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.